all, this is your Bhavani sir. We are going to discuss day 20 mission YODHAN prelims 2023. Slot 1 is about longitude and latitude and also physiographic divisions of India, and slot 2 and 3 focusing on Himalayan drainage system and Peninsular drainage system, and slot 4 about small river systems. And the first question is about consider the following statements with respect to Indian Standard Time. It is based on 82 degrees east latitude, which is wrong, and it is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. This is true, and it passes through the Indian states of Orissa, West Bengal. This is wrong, and Tamil Nadu is also wrong, and Andhra Pradesh is right. It is 6.5 hours behind international dateline. Fine. So first and third statement is incorrect. 82.5 degrees east longitude, not latitude, and Indian Standard Meridian passes through Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, and Andhra Pradesh. It is actually 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time and 6.5 hours behind international dateline. How will you calculate it? Because each longitude covers 4 minutes and 15 longitudes cover 50 around 1 hour. So here 0 degrees Greenwich Mean Time, and here it is 180 degrees international dateline, and here the Indian Standard Time is around 82.5 degrees, right. So each 15 longitudes covering around 1 hour. So here we have how many longitudes? 82.5 longitudes, and each longitude is also covering 4 minutes. So you have 5.5 hours, and here you have 6.5 hours. How? See, from 0 degrees Greenwich Mean Time to 180 degrees, you have 12 hours time gap. You have 12 hours time gap for from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. So already 5.5 hours are over, and remaining hours are only 6.5 hours from 82.5 degrees east longitude to 180 degrees international dateline. So from 180 degrees international dateline, you are 6.5 hours behind, and with respect to Greenwich Mean Time, you are 5.5 hours ahead. It is very simple, right? Totally 12 hours you have to calculate from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. And what were the questions previously asked by UPSC? This is to CDS 2021 question. And the question is about there is standard time for the whole country. There is one standard time. That is true, because there were several standard times for different countries regarding Russia, China, and USA. And Andaman Nicobar Island, Lakshadweep Island have different time zones. Indian Standard Time have half an hour behind Greenwich, 5.5 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, this is wrong actually. Second statement. So first statement is true. There is one standard time only for India. 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time, not behind Greenwich Mean Time. So third statement is also wrong. Only one first statement is true here. Similarly, UPSC CDS question 2006. What is the location of measurement of the Indian Standard Time? It is 82.5 degrees east longitude, that is prime meridian. Tropic of Cancer passes through which of the following states? It passes through 8 states. It is about Gujarat. Second state is Rajasthan, just southern tip of Rajasthan it passes through, and Madhya Pradesh. Third state and fourth state chronologically from west to east. I am telling you, you have to remember the chronological order from west to east or east to west. And fourth is Chhattisgarh, and fifth one is Jharkhand, and sixth one is West Bengal, and seventh one is Mizoram, and seventh one is Tripura, and eighth one is Mizoram. Okay, this is the chronological order from west to east. Next, coming to third question, arrange the following passes of Western Ghats from north to south direction. You have TBP. This is an order which I use it to remember always, but in between you have also other Ghat, that is Chorla Ghat, that is between Bor Ghat and Pal Ghat, that is Chorla Ghat. So Thal Ghat, Bor Ghat, Chorla Ghat, and Pal Ghat. This is the right sequence. Second one is first one, that is Thal Ghat, and third is next one, that is Bor Ghat, next Chorla Ghat, later Pal Ghat. This is the order and sequence that you have. This is Thal Ghat, Bor Ghat, and Chorla Ghat, and Pal Ghat. This is the order. You have to check map once in the synopsis. And fourth statement, consider the following statement: eastern Ghats have a steep slope while western Ghats have a gentle slope. It is absolutely wrong, because western Ghats are having a steep slope and they are continuous in nature, and eastern Ghats are not continuous in nature, and at the same time they are compared to the slope of the western Ghats, they are very gentle in nature. So, first statement is incorrect, and the first statement is incorrect. Option A and option C are eliminated here, and western Ghats unlike eastern Ghats are continuous in nature, that is true, and western Ghats have tropical evergreen forest while eastern Ghats are marked by scrub type vegetation, that is also fine, and which is western Ghats unlike eastern Ghats are continuous. Yes, second statement true and third statement true, as we have discussed, and these are the basic distinguishing features between western Ghats and eastern Ghats. The first feature is about height, and second slope, third continuity, fourth rivers, and fifth is vegetation. Height is 900 to 1600 meters in the western Ghat, the average height that we are telling, and the highest peak here is Anaimudi with a height of 2659 kilometers, not kilometers. It is absolutely wrong. Who have given, I mean, in the original reference only we have taken, it is meters, 2695 meters. It is 2695 kilometers, nobody can stay there, it is very difficult. Next, eastern Ghats are lower in height, and their usual range is between 600 meters to 900 meters height. Mahendragiri is the highest peak with a height of 1501 meter. And coming to the slope part, they have steep slope at a height of increases with north to south direction, and they have very gentle slope with respect to eastern Ghats. In western Ghats, you have the continuous mountain ranges, and they can be crossed through only passes. And coming to eastern Ghats, they are irregular and discontinuous, and they lie parallel to western Ghats. These are rivers which are parallel to western Ghats, and they are the source of some rivers. But they stretch from Mahanadi valley. Here in the eastern Ghats, the rivers are stretching from Mahanadi river valley to Nilgiris in south. The river flows very easily, because the slope is very gentle. And waterfalls are also observed in the western Ghats part, highest waterfall. That is the reason behind it, because their height is more than that of the eastern Ghats, and they are continuous in nature. They are having a steep slope, the western Ghats. That is why highest waterfalls are found in western Ghats compared to eastern Ghats. Next, western Ghats have tropical evergreen forest. They are evergreen to deciduous, yes, because you have orographic rainfall. In the windward side, there is huge rainfall around 150 centimeters to 200 centimeters. You have western Ghats biodiversity hotspot there, and eastern Ghats have scrub vegetation due to overgrazing and deforestation. And eastern Ghats is also suffering from overgrazing, deforestation, and other issues of unregulated settlements. So, western Ghats is also part of biodiversity hotspot. You know that its natural heritage is deteriorating. Next, which of the following states share their borders with Myanmar? Coming to Myanmar, border states are here. This is Mizoram, this is Manipur, this is Nagaland, right? You have to remember. But Tripura is bordering Bangladesh. So, you can eliminate Tripura here. When second statement is eliminated, B and D are eliminated, and you have to choose 1, 4, 5 mandatorily. You have to choose whether 3 is right or wrong. You have to check. Arunachal Pradesh, this is the border between China and Myanmar. So, you have to choose Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh is also border of China and Myanmar. So, 1, 3, 4, 5 is the right answer. With respect to previous year questions regarding this, how many Indian state borders are there with in the Myanmar part? That is 4 states. Just now we have discussed, from south to north direction. From southern part, southern tip is Mizoram, and above Mizoram you have Manipur and Nagaland, and finally Arunachal Pradesh in the north. And coming to this part, that is statements. Assam shares a border with Bhutan, Bangladesh, and West Bengal shares a border with Bhutan, Nepal, and Mizoram states. Therefore, frontier states and their borders with international countries and also within domestic countries, right? You have to choose the borders of frontier states from chronological order, west to east or east to west or north to south or south to north. you should have a very sound knowledge in this mapping point. Next, consider the following statements with regard to gneiss of Archean system forms the oldest rock systems of India. Okay, that is fine. And Dharwar rock system constitutes largest segment of surface of India. That is not correct. And the Kadapa rock system is dominated by not for fossiliferous rocks. You will get some idea after I read this explanation part. Vindhyan rock system spread across different parts of India, reaching yes Meghalayan part. That is fine. Only two statements are correct here. And the questions associated with are geological systems, and so in UPSC CAPF in 2016 it was asked with respect to India and their time scale. Dharwar age and Aravalis, Vindhyas and Kadapas, when was it formed and their chronological order in the geological time scale. You will get to know how the chronological order is formed in the geological scale of India. In the extra peninsular, Vindhyan rocks are designed by various local names, and between central and outer Himalayas also consists many slates and some sandstones and limestone. So, they are also present in Meghalaya part, and in extra peninsular and Vindhyan rocks are also unfossiliferous as they have been subjected to folding and metamorphosis. So, unfossiliferous as they have been subjected to folding and metamorphism, these Vindhyan rocks are right. So, and the fourth statement is always correct here. Vindhyan rock system which is also present in Meghalaya, and they had a system called unfossiliferous as they are subjected to lot of folding and metamorphosis in the geological period. Next, Kadapa rocks are ajoic, they are unfossiliferous, not fossiliferous. Therefore, third statement is incorrect. Just now I had told you that giving explanation you will get some clarity. It is not fossiliferous, it is unfossiliferous, and at the same time they contain iron and manganese, asbestos, copper, nickel and cobalt slates. That is why in the southern part Deccan Plateau region you witness a lot of richness in the mineral resources and jaspers, everything. Next, coming to second statement, this is incorrect. Just now I told you gneiss Archean systems form the oldest rock system and they occupy the 2/3 of Indian peninsular geological time scale. 2/3 they place a huge time scale out of the geological time scale of India rock formations. They occupy around 2/3, not the Dharwar rock system. In the Dharwar rock system the age is around less than 1/3. The time scale of Dharwar rock system. The time scale of gneiss of Archean system is having around 2/3, which is a large segment of the surface of India. That is Archean system, not Dharwar system. So, you have to know the geological time scale of India and the rock formation chronologically. This is called reverse engineering in 360 degrees. Once again you have to go through those concepts. You have to go through it immediately after pausing the video also, there is no problem. After completion of this concept only you have to go to next video, next question. Next, Arcanioma is the extension of Himalayas located in Myanmar, and Peguyoma is the extension of Himalayas located in Baluchistan. These are true because Pegu range is a range of low mountains or hills or uplands between the Irrawaddy river and Situang river in central Burma region, that is present day Myanmar. And Rakhine mountains, that is Burmese Rakhine Yoma, also called as Arkan mountains, and these are mountain arc in western Myanmar, Burma, between Rakhine, that is Arkan coast, and also the Irrawaddy river. Between Rakhine and Irrawaddy river, between Arkan or Irrawaddy river, you find Rakhine mountains. Okay, and this is called Burmese Rakhine Yoma, also called Arkan Yoma mountains, right. You find them between the Rakhine and the Irrawaddy river system, and Pegu range is in between Irrawaddy and Sittong river system. Okay, this is about 7th question. Why we have asked this question? Because it was asked in 1995 in UPSC Civil Service examination. Extension of Himalayas are found throughout the Arkan Yoma mountain ranges, right. They are located in present day Myanmar. Even our northern part of Andaman Nicobar Islands are also part of extension of Himalayas. That is also very important. You have to learn these concepts. Next, arrange the following passes of Himalayas from east to west. East to west, you have here Dihang Pass, next Bhumila Pass, next Bhumla Pass, finally Jelepla Pass. Here with respect to Kashmir region, Banihal Pass is leftmost extreme region in the given statements here. Dihang Pass, next coming to this the option Dihang Pass, next Bomidila Pass, Jelepla Pass, Barlachala, Banila. Barlachala is here, Barlachala, right. So, till now before coming to Kashmir, you have ended with Jelepla Pass from Dihang Pass. This is first pass, Dihang Pass, next Bomila Pass, third one is Jelepla Pass, and fourth one is Barlachala Pass, and fifth is Banihal Pass. And you have to remember other passes also from north to south and south to north and east to west respectively, vice versa. Major passes in India, it is also one of the important themes which were asked several times in UPSC, and this was one of the testimony that was asked recently in the Central Armed Police Force exam conducted by UPSC in 2022. Barlachala, Shipkila, Jelepla, Bhumidila. Please arrange them in the order that they have asked in several orders, right. And Nanda Devi peak forms a part of Kumaon Himalayas, and Himalayas are distributed horizontally and vertically according to our convenience. We gave different names and notions, outer Himalayas and inner Himalayas are Shivaliks, and also lesser Himalayas, higher Himalayas. Likewise we have upper Himalayas. Likewise we have demarcated horizontal distribution, and next vertical distribution is about Kashmir Himalayas, next Kumaon Himalayas, next Nepal Himalayas, finally Arunachal Himalayas. Likewise we have distributed till Kashmir. You have Kashmir Himalayas, Kashmir. So, this is horizontal distribution, this is vertical distribution which cut across the Himalayan ranges from north to south. So, this is Kashmir Himalayan part example, I am telling you Kashmir part, this is Kumaon part, and finally this Nepal part, right. This is about arrangement. And with respect to these Himalayas, Kumaon Himalayas locate Nanda Devi peak, that is true because it was asked in CAPF in 2003, we have taken that statement. And Comet peak forms a part of Garhwal Himalayas, Dhubgarh peak forms part of Indian ranges, and Anaimudi peaks formed of Eastern Ghats, which is also wrong, and therefore only two statements are correct. Statement 1 correct, just now we have discussed, 2 is also correct. Comet no problem, it is part of Garhwal Himalayas, and Dhubgarh peak forms part of Satpura range, therefore this third statement is incorrect. Dhubgarh was not part of India, it was part of Satpura. Next, Anaimudi peak forms of Western Ghats, form part of Western Ghats. Just now we have given you a question previously that Anaimudi peak in the distinction between Western Ghats and Western Ghats. Anaimudi was the highest peak in the Western Ghats, and Mahendragiri is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghats. Next, which plateau lies between the Aravalli and Vindhyan ranges? Which plateau? That is Malwa plateau, which lies between Aravalli and Vindhyan ranges. You have to remember the plateau system, and also old fold mountains and new fold mountains, and their distribution horizontally and vertically, and their divisions and river systems and drainage patterns. Okay. Next, consider the following statements about river Godavari. Godavari is second longest, fine, and Penganga, Pranahita, Indravati, Manjira are tributaries of Godavari. This is also fine, and most percentage of its catchment area is located not in Andhra Pradesh. This is located in Maharashtra first. Therefore, Godavari is largest peninsular river system, and it is also called Dakshin Ganga. We have taken this question from NCERT only. So, we given you the original source pic. You can go through it once again. Nasik district was its birthplace. It raises at Nasik, and also it discharges its water in the Bay of Bengal in the eastern part, and tributaries run through the states of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh. It is 1465 kilometers long in the catchment area and spreading over 3.13 lakh square kilometers, which is 49% of this lies in Maharashtra, 49% of this lies in Maharashtra, and 20% in Madhya Pradesh, 20%. And also arrange the catchment area of Godavari, which is spread across different states from highest to lowest. This is also one of the questions which can be framed in the UPSC. If it is a question, therefore you have to answer the highest part, 49% is occupied by Maharashtra, the catchment area is spread over other states, that is Madhya Pradesh 20% and Chhattisgarh next, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, and the rest in Andhra Pradesh. Penganga, Indravati, Pranahita, Manjira are its principal tributaries, and you have to know other few tributaries, which is called reverse engineering. You must know all tributaries and tributaries of tributaries. Okay, Godavari is subject to heavy floods and reaches south of Polavaram, where it forms a picturesque gorge, and different types and shapes of gorges you have to remember, and navigable only in the deltaic stretch. Yes. Next, Rajahmundry splits into several branches forming a large delta in that region. Next, coming to 12th question, which among the following rivers in India are antecedent in nature? That means the river was formed before the landscape was formed. That means the antecedent which existed before the Himalayan range formed. Before the Himalayan range came into existence, the river drainage pattern came into existence, that is antecedent river, and this river cut across this without changing its course. It cuts across these Himalayan ranges without changing its course because of its antecedent nature, and also it was formed before the landscape was formed in that place. And Subansiri, Kosi, Satluj, these were antecedent rivers. This was also asked, and which were the antecedent rivers. In the previous times, we haven't added few PYQs. It is also a homework to you. Please find how many PYQs came in this area. Subansiri, it has its origin in Tibet, and it is an antecedent river. And Kosi is an antecedent river with its source north of Mount Everest in Tibet, and where its main stream Arun rises. Okay, and after crossing the central Himalayas in Nepal, it will central Himalayas in Nepal, it will enter into the Bihar part, right? Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi likewise. Next, Satluj originates in the Rakastal near Manasarovar at an altitude of 4,555 meters in Tibet. Satluj originates in the Rakas lake part, which is near at the Manasarovar at an altitude of 4,555 meters in Tibet, where it is known as Langcheng Kambam. Langcheng Kambam, it is known as the birthplace of Satluj is Rakas, which is near to the Manasarovar, and it is known as Langcheng Kambam. Langcheng Kambam. Okay, Kambam. Next, it flows almost parallel to the Indus for about 400 kilometers before entering India, and comes out of gorge at Ropar, that is located in Punjab. It passes through the Shipkila and Himalayan ranges and enters the Punjab plains. Okay, it is an antecedent river. It is very important tributary, and as it feeds Bakra Nangal project. It is very important because it feeds Bakra Nangal project. Next, 13th question. Saline soils contain a large proportion of sodium, potassium, magnesium. Okay, and they are not fertile in nature. They are infertile and don't support any vegetative growth. And saline soils are very widespread, spread more in Western Ghats region and deltas of Eastern Ghats in the Sundarbans areas of West Bengal. Okay, because the salt water intrusion, where there is highest intrusion of salt water, there you witness this kind of saline soils. Okay, they are rich in sodium, potassium, magnesium part. They are not fertile enough. They cannot support vegetative growth, and they are mostly found in deltaic region, that is true, and the eastern coastal part and few western coastal part. Next, contain a large proportion of sodium. They are also known as Usara soils. These saline soils are also known as Usara soils. They are rich in potassium and sodium, magnesium. They are infertile in nature, and saline soils are more widespread in western Gujarat. Deltas of eastern coast in Sundarban areas are West Bengal, are areas of West Bengal only. In the Rann of Kutch, the southwest monsoon brings salt particles and deposits there as a crust. Seawater intrusions in the delta promote occurrence of saline soils. Seawater intrusion, just now I have told you, where there is highest intrusion of seawater, you will witness there the saline soils, right. Deltas promote the occurrence of saline soils in the areas of intensive cultivation with excessive use of irrigation. You can find a little bit of vegetation there. Especially in the areas of green revolution, the fertile alluvial soils are becoming very saline because of salt water intrusion from the groundwater. Okay, the ground capillarity action, huge groundwater exploitation is bringing that kind of the calcareous nature of the soil system, and excessive irrigation with dry climatic conditions promoting this capillarity action, which results in the deposition of salt on the top layer of the soil. Just now I have told you the capillarity action out of this excessive use of the irrigation after the green revolution created this kind of salt water deposition on the top layer of the fertile soils. It is causing the desertification in those areas. In such areas, especially in Punjab, Haryana, farmers are advised to add gypsum to solve the problems of salinity in the soil. Yes, gypsum to be added to solve the problem of salinity of the soil to make it fertile, right. Gypsum, remember, because we are not good at each of the subjects, but we should know the basics of all the subjects. This is very important to get good marks in the GS papers, especially objective type questions. Next, The deep black soils of the Telangana region are alluvial soils, that is true, and the red soils are the result of intense leaching. Intense leaching will cause formation of laterite soils. Laterite means in the Greek and Latin terms is a kind of brick. So, there is no topsoil which is settled due to intense leaching. Okay, it is completely eroded away due to intense leaching in the tropical rains. So, red soil, this is not red soil. So, second statement is incorrect, and PT soils, also known as Usara soils, contain large proportion of sodium, potassium, magnesium. Just now we have discussed, they are not fertile at all. PT soils, they are rich in potassium, sodium, magnesium. Okay, they are found in deltaic parts and also few places where the saltwater intrusion is more. And arid soils are poor and contain little humus and also organic matter. Okay, fine, 3 statements are correct, only second statement is wrong. You know that laterite soils, this means later means brick in the Latin terms, Latin word. So, they are the result of intense leaching due to tropical rains. Next, coming to black soils, Deccan Plateau, which includes parts of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, these are, and also some parts of Tamil Nadu, these contain black soils, and in the upper reaches of the Godavari Krishna, we found these black soils, we find these black soils. Deep black soils of Telangana region are alluvial. Coming to this part, calcary soils are found in northeastern, and deep black soils of Telangana region alluvial. Okay, this is SCRA question and 2009, which is not correct, right. So, this first statement is correct, laterite soils predominantly found in Konkan region. This second statement B, option A, B are correct, and Bangar soils are found in Terai region. This is also fine. One calcaric soils, this is wrong. So, I think coming to this part, because it is reflecting this statement, the statement 1 is reflecting the previous year question of UPSC SCRA 2009. So, first statement we are considering it. Second statement incorrect. Unfortunately, they have given first statement incorrect here, not one, which is because we are asking only correct statement here. There is a kind of small typo error, don't worry. And coming to this, they are also known as Usara soils, saline soils, and you find more number of elements of sodium and potassium, magnesium, and thus they are very infertile in nature. And saline soils are more widespread in Western Ghats and delta part, where the saltwater intrusion is more. Next. Plant growth, arid soils are characteristically developed in western Rajasthan, which exhibits very arid topography. These soils are very poor, and they contain little humus and organic matter. This is also true statement. The fourth statement is also true statement. Okay, so no doubt at all. Next, consider the following statements. Rudraprayag is situated at the confluence of rivers Alkananda and Mandakini. This is fine. And Devaprayag, because they have asked the question in the 2017 NDA, that is why we have asked this question, and this statement is reflected. Devaprayag is situated at the confluence of the rivers between Bhagirathi and Alkananda, and Vishnuprayag is situated confluence of Alkananda, and Karnaprayag is situated Pindar and Alkananda. You please remember, these are tributaries of Ganga, simple. And Ganga has tributaries Alkananda, Bhagirathi, and again these Alkananda, Bhagirathi are having tributaries, and they have certain genesis, right. So, at Devaprayaga, if you find the Bhagirathi meets Alkananda and forming Ganga there, okay, and Alkananda has its source at the Satopant glacier above Badrinath, and Alkananda consists of Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga, it consists of Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga, which meets at Joshimath, that is Vishnuprayag. Okay, it Alkananda is formed out of this Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga. Simply they merge at Joshimath or Vishnuprayag. This actually, by merging this Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga at Vishnuprayag or Joshimath, you find the genesis of Alkananda. Okay, Alkananda actually has its source at Satopant river glacier, but above Badrinath, but the Alkananda consists of Dhauli, Vishnuprayag, which meets Joshimath and Vishnuprayag. Other tributaries of Alkananda such as Pindar joins at Karnaprayag, while Mandakini, okay, or Kali Ganga meets it at Rudraprayaga. Likewise, similarly on these lines only, other tributaries of Alkananda such as Pindar join Pindar is one of the tributaries of Alkananda that joins at Karnaprayag, and Mandakini is also one of the tributaries of Alkananda, or Kali Ganga, Mandakini, both are same, these Mandakini or Kali Ganga are meeting at Rudraprayag. Okay, and this Karnaprayag and Kali Ganga are meeting at Rudraprayag. These are tributaries of Alkananda, and Dhauli and Vishnuprayag, these are also tributaries of Alkananda, and these tributaries are meeting at Vishnuprayag or Joshimath. Okay, and the Ganga enters the plains at Haridwar. From here it flows first south and then is southeast. Okay. So, simply Alakananda has 4 tributaries, Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga, okay, Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga, which meet at Joshimath. One thing is over, and second, Pindar joins at Karnaprayag, and Mandakini meets at Rudraprayag. These Mandakini, Pindar also a part of Alkananda, and by combining all these tributaries, Alakananda will join Ganga, and finally it will become a Ganga river by joining Bhagirath. Okay. This is called a river formation, that is tributaries out of tributaries, that we have given you, because they have asked in the UPSC NDA exam also in 2014 regarding these tributaries, because Alkananda and Bhagirathi rivers actually meet at Devaprayaga. This was a question in 2017 NDA. Immediately after 2 years they have repeated the same question. Rudraprayag is situated at the confluence of the river Alakananda, and also this called Alakananda Rudraprayag. This Rudraprayag, yes, this is Rudraprayag. Just now we have discussed, this is the source, this is the source that I am connecting there. You might have understood why this is the source we found. These are the sources directly asked by UPSC from these standard books. Okay. That is why we are giving you the standard reference book source pictures here. Consider the following rivers: Chambal, next Sindh, Gandak, Ken, Chambal, Betwa, Ken, Son, Sindh. Okay. These are, which of the above are tributaries joins river Yamuna? All are joining Yamuna here. NDA 2008 question, Betwa, Kosi, Gandak, these were the questions. Okay. And Yamuna, westernmost and longest tributary of Ganga, has its source in the Yamunotri glacier and western slopes of Banderpunch range. It joins the Ganga at Prayag, that is at Allahabad. It is joined by Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, the Ken on its right bank, and which originates from the Peninsular Plateau, Hindon, Rind, Senghar and Varuna, etc. Okay, Peninsular Plateau. So, Hindon, Rind, Senghar, Varuna, and Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken. These are very important names that you have to remember when it is coming to northern plains and drainage systems, right? Joins it, and water feeds and western, eastern and Agra canals are fed by these river systems only. So, I request you to go through these in 360 degrees, and each river and tributary and their local name. Even in Pandharpur there is a tributary named Bhima, okay, the tributary of Krishna and Bhima, which is flowing in the Pandharpur, and this was named as Chandra river. Chandra river, this was asked in 2019 in the UPSC. The local name was Chandra, and most of the aspirants are unable to find it. Out of elimination technique only they might have made it correct, but local names of the rivers and their genesis and their flow and their distribution and their final length, spread over our catchment area, these are very important. Next, which among the following rivers are tributaries of river Brahmaputra? I am finding you the themes here. Next, Kameng, Subansiri, Manas, Dhansiri, Lohit. Okay, all are tributaries of Brahmaputra. Okay, you have to remember right bank tributaries and left bank tributaries, and the how the Brahmaputra river is emerged out of this sea, foothills under the name of Siang and Dihang. So, the river emerges out of the foothills, and river has different names, okay, different names at different places. And in Bangladesh the river will have a different name, right? You have to remember, and at a Tibetan place you have different name. So, you have to remember that is Brahmaputra having different names, and it is formed out of the merging of two different other tributaries. It enters India west of Sadia in Arunachal Pradesh, that is Dihang river, which actually enters Arunachal Pradesh and Sadia in the Sadia town. And next, following southwest, it receives its main left bank tributaries. Coming to tributaries which are forming the Brahmaputra, just remember Dihang is entering or Sihang is entering Arunachal Pradesh, and next it receives its main left bank tributary. The name of those tributaries was Dibang, Sikang and Lohit. Dibang, Sikang and Lohit. Next, thereafter Dibang or Sikang, both are same. Siang or Dihang, both are same. Okay, and it is known as the Brahmaputra. Next, Brahmaputra receives numerous tributaries, 750 kilometers long journey through the Assam Valley. major left bank tributaries are Burhi-Dihang and Dhansiri. Left bank tributaries are Burhi-Dihang and Dhansiri, and the right bank tributaries are Subansiri, Kameng, Manas, Shankos. Subansiri, Kameng, Manas, Shankos. Right bank tributaries Subansiri, Kameng, Manas, Shankos, and left bank tributaries are Burhi-Dihang, Dhansiri. Right. This is about, that is why it is creating a braided channel system here. Next coming, next the Brahmaputra enters into Bangladesh near Dhubri and flows southward. Next, in Bangladesh it was joined by Teesta and it was named as Jamuna in Bangladesh. So, different names I am telling you. Okay. It is finally merges with river Padma. River Padma was known as Ganga in India actually, which falls in the Bay of Bengal. Brahmaputra is a well known river, right. Kapildhara Falls, Godhar, Jog Falls, Sharavati, Shivasamudram Falls, Kaveri and Dhavana. No, this is one statement is incorrect. That is first statement. Kapildhara Falls is on river Narmada, not on Godavari. First statement incorrect. And Sharavati, Shivasamudram, Kaveri and Dhondhar, Narmada is true. Their Kapildhara Falls were given in UPSC Civil Service exam in 2008. And Jog Falls, Sharavati river, that is fine. And Shivasamudram Falls, Kaveri, this is also fine. Next, which one among the following statements is not correct? Here, mountain ranges of Satpura and Vindhyas are found in central western part of Indian subcontinent. They are termed as block mountains, not fold mountains, right. They are termed as block mountains. What is meant by block mountains? This is a block of earth which is known as the Rift Valley depressed. Okay. There are two blocks. This is only actually hypothetical one. We have only one block here, one block of rock. Suddenly there is a crack formation between this, and this crack is formed, and this has this is uplifted, and this is depressed. This block of rock is depressed. This block of rock A is depressed, and block of rock B is depressed after a crack is formed in the midst of this rock. Okay, this is called block mountain. The B is called block mountain after the other block is depressed in the Rift Valley. Okay, as the Rift Valley after the other block is depressed as a Rift Valley, right. This is called block mountain. These were formed out of these blocks where one is uplifted and the other one is depressed as Rift Valley. So, Vindhyans are not fold mountains, and Aravalis are oldest fold mountains of India, and Shillong Plateau is an outer peninsular part of India only. Just now we have told you that Vindhyan ranges extended till Meghalaya Plateau, and Shillong Plateau is also an outer layer of this peninsular plateau of India, and Rajmahal Highlands are composed of lava deposits. This is fine, and this is question asked in UPSC CAPF in 2013. Directly this is lifted here and given to you as a question. And which of the following are created by Himalayan rivers in the plain areas? Gorges, V-shaped valleys, oxbow lakes, braided channels, deltas. Actually, one thing important that when Himalayan drainage system evolving in the geological history, it includes Ganga, Indus and Brahmaputra river basins. They are fed by both melting of snow and precipitation. So, rivers of this system are usually perennial in nature, and they pass through Gean gorges. They pass through on Gean gorges. Okay, a valley type of shape. Okay, through this the river passes through. Next, carved out by the erosional activity, that is usually simultaneously upliftment of the Himalayas taking place. Okay, besides deep gorges, these rivers also form V-shaped valleys, rapids, waterfalls in their mountainous region course. While entering the plains, they form depositional features, flat valleys, oxbow lakes, meanders and floodplains, braided channels. Just now I have told you the Himalayas, left bank tributaries, right bank tributaries, and looking like a braided channel. Okay, and the braided channel having huge number of branches here of a river. It is called braided channel, and between these branches of river systems, you have highly uplifted depositional sediments. Okay, in these depositional sediments are found between these branches. Okay, this is depositional sediment, this is depositional sediment. So, this is called braided channel system. it is entirely, it is very clumsy in nature. There is, and it always frequently changes its course. It frequently changes its course due to its high level of depositional activity. Okay, this is braided channel system. So deltas near the river mouth. In the Himalayan reaches, the course of these rivers is high in tortuous, right, and but over the plains they display very strong meandering tendency. Because their slow movement in the plain part, they create these meanders here. They create these meanders, right. The slope, that is the wavy nature of the river, that you found as a meandering part. Okay, this is the tendency to form meanders is usually observed in the second stage of the river, that is in the plain part. So the river Kosi also allows this Sara of Bihar, which used to change its course frequently. Therefore, it is very notorious and it causes lot of floods, and the Kosi brings huge quantity of sediments, its upper ranges and deposits in the plains part. Okay, this is about the characteristic features of the rivers and created by Himalayan ranges. In the plain areas, you don't find any, you find oxbow lakes fine, you find this is called deltas fine. Okay, you find braided channels, the just now I have explained the depositional activity, where depositional activity takes place, you find the braided channel system. It usually takes place in the slow river moving part, that is at the plains part, and gorges or V-shaped valleys are not at all found in the plain areas. So after the explanation, you got to know the clarity and the concepts. You have to do reverse engineering rather than directly reading the question. First read the question, try to analyze the concept and directly go to the concept first and understand the concept, and next solve the question. You will get to know that 360 degrees analysis and assessment elimination technique of this question, right. This is today's session. I think this session would have helped you. All the best. Thank you.